Hello everyone, welcome back to another informative video. In this video, I'm going to answer a few questions that recently came up from one of my subscribers. The first part of the question states, how long to leave seeds in fungicide, right? And the second part is, how long before planting do you have to cut it? One of the way to do the fungicide dip is to actually, a lot of times when you are buying sweet Irish potato, you actually get them in a little bags. They come in bags like cloth bags. You could actually just go ahead and dip the bag itself with the potato in the fungicide solution that you make, and you can basically just do the dip for around about a couple seconds, right? Maybe 5 to 10 seconds, right? It doesn't have to be long, right? You just want to ensure that all the seeds are properly dipped, all of them are properly covered, right, with the fungicide solution. And you can actually dip the whole seed, because some of the Irish potato seeds, they come small, so you just basically plant them as is, and then you have others that come large, where you can basically dice them up into smaller pieces, getting more planting material. So whether you cut the Irish potato or you have the small seed as a whole Irish potato, it doesn't matter. You can dip both of them, because essentially what you are doing when you are dipping or you are doing a fungicide seed treatment is you are essentially doing preventative measure from any fungal disease that may occur further on when the seeds are sprouting and growing. For example, you are doing a seed treatment with the fungicide to prevent against soil-borne pathogens, like for example pythium, right? That is a common one. You have fusarium, then you have what's the other two? You have rhizoctonia, and then you have another popular verticulum. Yeah, those are basically just what we call it, different genus of pathogens that can cause injury to your Irish potato, right? And other plants as well. So your typical root rot, stem rot, and all these kind of things. You want to do your seed treatment to actually prevent those pathogens from attacking your plants, and consequently you will have a more developed root system. The plant will be much more healthier, and so on. And the bottom line is you will prevent the heartache of losing your seeds, right? So that answers the first question. The next part of the question is, how long before planting you have to cut it? So normally, how I would answer this question is, when you do the fungicide dip, you want to basically, especially when you cut the Irish potato, you want to basically leave it in a well ventilated area at least 24 hours, right? Leave it 24 hours to air dry basically. And when you just cut the Irish potato, you will basically see that it's moist, and the surface that you cut, it is much softer, basically, because it's moist. You just cut it. Now when you leave it to air dry overnight, right? And even sometimes when you go the next day after 24 hours, you will see that it still needs to dry some more. So what is essentially happening during this period before you plant is you are allowing callus tissues to form over the cut surface, right? for it to heal its wound. So when the wound is healed, then what will happen is it will prevent itself from contracting any pathogens. It will be harder. So when you go now and you plant that cut Irish potato, you will not be exposing open wounds to the soil for soil pathogens to to um to inoculate the seed and cause it to deteriorate. So that is why when you dip the seed in the fungicide solution, the fungicide is one barrier of defense, and the plant's own mechanism, which is to farming those callus tissues and making the cut surface more hardened, right? That is another defense. So that is basically answer the question. You want to basically, when you cut the Irish potato, you want to basically leave it for say a day or two, and that is going to be dependent on you checking the cut surfaces to ensure that it is basically hardened properly, right? And then you can basically go and plant those cut Irish potato, right? And what I should also mention too is that sometimes when you buy Irish potato, you find that they are already sprouting, right? You find that they are already sprouting. So what you can do is, if there are large seeds, you can basically cut the seeds so that you can have sprouts on each section that you cut, right? As well as you can have seeds that are not haven't sprouted. So you can do one of two things. Is either you're going to cut those large seeds, put them down, dip them in the fungicide solution, put them down to air dry and to develop sprouts before you plant them, or you can cut those big seeds into smaller pieces so you can get more planting material. Dip them in your fungicide solution, leave them to air dry to form those hardened callus tissues over the cut surface, and then before you see sprouting, you can actually go ahead and plant them still. The only disadvantage with that is that basically you 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 are not sure of what will sprout from what will not sprout, compared to when you cut those bigger Irish potatoes. You leave them to sprout. You actually know that, okay, then you are bringing 10 planting material to your planting year, and you know that you have 10 planting material that have already sprouted, more than bringing 10 planting material that you're not sure how many will sprout. So it's basically of the certainty of having sprouts, or for sprouting to occur, where you would basically cut those larger Irish potato and dip them in your fungicide solution, leave them to air dry, and continue leaving them to sprout, right? And as I said, a lot of them, you also, when you get them, they are already sprouting. So just be aware of that. You can choose whichever one you want to do. I hope this answers your questions. The subscriber that asked that question, and if there are any more questions and any comments from anybody else, just put them in the comments here, and please remember to subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.